Swamin namaste natalokabandho karunya sindho patitam bhavabdhau mamuddharatmiya kataksha drishtya rijvyati karunya sudhabhivrishtya Swamin namaste Swamin namaste Swamin namaste Swamin namaste Tvamadideva purusha puranaha Tvamasya vishwasya param nidhanam Vettasi vedyam cha param cha dhama Tvaya tatam vishwamanantarupa Vayuryamognivarunasya shankah Prajapatisvam prapitamahasya Namo namastestu sahasrakritvaha Punascha bhuyopi namo namaste Namah purastadata prishtataste Namostute sarvata eva sarva Ananta vidyamita vikramasvam Sarvam samapnoshi tatosi sarvaha Sarvam samapnoshi tatosi sarvaha Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. So for the last few days I have been discussing the Prabhata Rashmih which our Poojya Swamiji has spoken from the book, first volume of Prabhata Rashmih I am doing. And we have done 4 chapters. Started with the one, sublimity. Then we came to divinizing every moment, divinity in everything, then self-generated benediction, and the first day, of course, was introduction. So 4 days I have spoken. And if we go through it again, what is sublimity? Sublimity is a feeling where we feel purified, we feel divinity within ourselves, not only within us, everywhere. It is like taking bath in a holy river. And Swamiji goes on to say this sublimity we can generate ourselves when we think of divinity everywhere, think of the supreme power which commands the universe in its actions. Everything is emerging from that one source, the supreme, and all the activities in this world also is designed by that supreme power, the universal power. When we think about that, and not only think, when in our active days, during all our activities, while we are thinking, while we are acting, while we are speaking, while we are interacting, if we can remain steady in this knowledge that there is a supreme power from where this universe has emerged and I am a part of it and my qualities are divine. I am the self, I am not the body. God is everywhere. Nothing belongs to me. Everything that we see and we use, everything that we consider belonging to us, actually is created by that one power, myself and all the people whom we feel we are our near and dear ones, all the belongings that we feel that belong to us is the creation of that Supreme Creator. When we live this knowledge, remind us and remember, then we start feeling divinity everywhere, every moment and in everything. Now, also Swamiji has said that we can also have these thoughts, the divine vibrations in our mind, the divinity in our mind, when we chant some particular shlokas. And in the last 2 chapters, Swamiji has talked about those shlokas. One is Lokesha Chaitanya Mayadi Deva, and another is Prithvi Sagandha Sarasas Tathapaha. These 2 shlokas are there in our morning prayers. The meanings are also given in the book Nitya Samarpanam, published from our ashram. Now, today I will come to this Prabhata Rashmih, which says, disciplines to divinize every moment. In the last chapter, Swamiji said that if you can think that you are living and doing everything for the sake of the Supreme Presence from whom you have emerged, from whom has emerged this world, and who looks after everything in the world, looks after you as well as your family, then the loftiness and sublimity felt in you will be great. That is, when we live with this knowledge that we are created by the Supreme Presence, and we live and we do our activities for the sake of the Supreme Presence. Whatever comes our way is designed by the Supreme Presence. We feel we are doing, we feel we have planned, but we know also very well our plans many times are not successful. Whatever the Supreme has designed for us, whether it will be a success or a failure, that happens. So, if you can think that we are living and doing everything for the sake of the Supreme Presence, from whom has emerged this world and who looks after everything in this world. Everything in this world is looked after by the Supreme Presence, the consciousness, the one presence. The sun rises, sets, the moon rises, sets, the planets are revolving, celestial bodies are revolving, the seasons come and go, the seasonal fruits and flowers come and go. It's everything, we don't do anything. Somebody is actually making all this happen, including our body's functions, that our heart beats, our lungs bellow, that the blood is flowing in our body, that all the organs who are so much synchronized with each other goes on and on. We have nothing to do. It's somebody's creation and somebody manages it. So we foolishly think that I am doing. We will be very, very liberated and freed. All our shackles will be removed if, as a spiritual seeker, we remember this spiritual truth that I am nothing. I have no control over anything. And immediately the ego, the feeling that I am doing will be gone. So he says, first remember that this universe is looked after by that Supreme. Looks after you. That is, that same presence is looking after oneself, as well as your family. And that same power is looking after my family also. I feel that I am looking after my family. I feel that I am earning from my family, I am looking after my wife, children, parents, etc. I am making them grow up. I have bought a house, I have bought a car, I have made so many luxuries and comforts from my family, I have saved money. I feel that I am doing. But it will be good to know and live with this knowledge that nothing I am doing. It is happening to us. It's not happening to many others. He has wished, the Supreme Power has wished what will happen in one individual's life. This life He has given us. That is what that shloka says, that I get up in the morning with your command. When we lie on the bed, our eyes close. We don't know when it closes. We lie on the bed. We cannot control when the eyes will close. Similarly, we cannot control when our eyes will open into the morning. Whether it will open by 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. When it opens, it is somebody who has designed it. And that is how this whole universe is running like a machine. So, when we think like this, that there is somebody who is actually looking after me as well as my family, what happens? Attachments get reduced, get removed. Clingings, possessiveness, all fall off. And then the loftiness and sublimity felt in you will be great. Then we start feeling reliance on that power. We understand that it's a great power which is doing everything. It is not me. So in the previous chapter, we had done all these things. And Swamiji says that we are born of the 5 elements. Our life forces as well as the perceptive powers are born of them. How can it be possible unless the powers we have are also there in subtle form in the causal elements? The causal elements, the Panchabhutas, the earth, the fire, the water, then the wind, etc. All the 5 elements, I think I have told only the 4. So there are 5 elements. Then all these elements, they are responsible for making our body-mind complex. Now, all these have that power. Not only that, our life with all the activities, breathing, speaking, hearing, seeing, tasting, walking, thinking, is possible by the grace of these elements. The earth must emit fragrance. The water must remain life-giving. The air should remain soothing and refreshing. The fire should continue to burn well with its purifying power. The space around should not get polluted with harmful vibrations. And above all, the cosmic intelligence. What is that cosmic intelligence? The intelligence, the universal intelligence, the intelligence of that supreme power must protect and guide us all. So, our prayer should be to that universal power. And Swamiji ended, do not look outside always for inspiration and encouragement. If you need inspiration, generate it yourself. If you want to get sublimated, generate sublimity by sublime thoughts. So, we should not depend only on something else. Like I was saying, we feel very sublime, very pure, very divine when we listen to bhajans, listen to Nama Sankirtan, or listen to some lectures, spiritual lectures. Always it should not be that we take help of outside things. This sublime feeling of sublimity and purity should be generated from oneself. That is our birthright. I am the self. And sublimity, purity, divinity, all are the characteristics of the self. We do not look at them. Our eyes and our vision is always outside. We don't look into ourselves. to find that we are the source of the bliss, ananda, the purity, vishuddhata, and sublimity. Now, I'll come to this one. Disciplines to divinize every moment. This was spoken by Poojya Swamiji in Prabhata Rashmih on 3rd July 1997. He says, yesterday I was mentioning about some of the disciplines that are necessary for taking up a life of spiritual seeking. Many of you are here now. Actually, as I have described earlier, these Prabhata Rashmis are spoken after Pushpa Samarpanam. Sometimes only the ashramites are here, listening to them, physically sitting at the feet of the Guru. Sometimes visiting devotees are here, who have come for a short period. Some are here for long periods. So all are assembled here. All are sitting in the morning hours to listen to the words of wisdom. So Swamiji is saying, many of you are here now. You have come to the ashram mainly for your spiritual seeking. You may be hailing from varied professional, cultural, economic, and social backgrounds. All of you have in common the aspiration and love for spiritual life. Whether it is the ashramites or whether there are seekers and devotees who have come from their homes to be in the Guru Sannidhi for some time, one thing is common, the aspiration and love for spiritual knowledge. That is why people are here in the Guru Sannidhi. You all are seekers of truth, but one thing I have noticed in almost all seekers is that they lack the awareness of being a seeker. Who is saying this? Our Guru is saying this. He is saying that he has noticed in almost all seekers that they lack the awareness of being a seeker. That is, that I am a seeker. My first identity is a seeker. When we have not stepped into this spiritual path, we belong to the world. We have a worldly identity, belonging to this family, belonging to this set of parents, or belonging to this part of India, or whatever. One's own qualifications, name, fame, prestige, family, everything. Now, when you become a seeker of truth, what is that? Who am I? To know that I am the self. We want to know who is God. What is my relationship with God? I've been worshipping God for years and years. I don't know who is God. And what is my relationship? When such thoughts start coming and we come near a Mahatma or a Sadguru and he gives us knowledge, he keeps on relentlessly giving us this knowledge and tells us you are not this body, you are the self. And God resides within you, the same God, the same Atma is all pervading, it is only one. So, that should become the identity, that my first priority is to seek the truth. Where? In this life. Doing what? Doing the ordinary, everyday work, everyday my thoughts, my activities, my duties, my responsibilities, the family where I am or the ashram where I am. Through everything that I do, I must find what is the supreme reality and what is this truth. So that means whatever I do, and I'll have to do, we have to be very active. Whether you are in an ashram or in the house, we have to be active. In that, in the midst of all that, the one thought which becomes dominant is that spiritual seeking, that I am a seeker, I want to know, I yearn to know. And one should not forget this, that I am a seeker. From all that I come to know or all that I have, now my first focus is that I want to know what is this self or what is God or what will happen if I can realize the self. See, when we go to the office, we do or any household work, we are very active, our minds are engaged in our work, but we never forget what is my name, what are the parents' name, where I belong to. We never forget. A person might have gone to the office. He must be in a very important meeting. But does he forget that after the meeting, he'll have to come back home, and where is his home? He never forgets all that. But Swamiji is saying that he feels that the seekers lack the awareness of being a seeker, means we are constantly forgetting that I am a seeker. That seeking is my priority. Now, if I love this spiritual path, seeking is my priority and my first identity is I am a seeker. Whatever I do, I should not forget that I am a devotee or I am a seeker. And what does that mean? Just like suppose there is a mother, she has given birth to a child, the mother will know what is to be done for the child. Nobody has to tell the mother. Similarly, a seeker, what should he do? What all disciplines that seeker should take to? What all pursuit he should follow? What all things he should read or contemplate upon or introspect upon? He will know it, he will not forget. It should not be that we have to remind a seeker that these are your duties now. So Swamiji says that this is very important, my dear children. This is very, very important. Look into oneself and see whether you feel that you are a seeker first, and then comes whether you are a son, brother, husband, grandfather, etc., etc., a professional. So, you are all seekers, but one thing I have noticed in almost all seekers is that they lack the awareness of being a seeker. The emphasis that oneself is a seeker is not there. That means you are not behaving as a seeker. What should a seeker do? Whatever he does, the God thought, the self thought will be supreme. You make supreme the supreme in your life, not the family. Yes, nobody is telling you that you should not look after your family. You should look after your family, but know very well that the supreme is the supreme. One must have a very clear evaluation of what is meant by spiritual life and seeking. One must evaluate what is this spiritual life. You say that you are spiritual, you say that you are doing sadhana, you say that you are associated with an ashram, you say that you have a guru, you come to the Guru Sannidhi again and again, or some may live in the association of the Guru. But we must evaluate what is it exactly. What is this spiritual life and seeking? In being so, what are we seeking? What is it that you are seeking? What is meant by spiritual pursuit? What are its merits? And to where is it expected to lead you? All these thoughts and inquiries must engage your mind and intelligence to give you a proper evaluation and understanding of your pursuit. I'll read again. What are you seeking? What is meant by spiritual pursuit? What are its merits and to where is it expected to lead you? All these thoughts and enquiries must engage your mind and intelligence to give you a proper evaluation and understanding of your pursuit. So when we say that we are spiritual, we like spirituality or we are pursuing spirituality, the mind and intelligence should be engaged that what are we doing? What are we seeking? Where do I have to go? What is the destination? What merit it will give me? And how? So whatever we do in our daily life, we have to get up in the morning, take bath, arrange the room maybe. Maybe some have to cook, some have to get ready to drop the children in the school, some have to go for their offices, and many other work will be there for everybody. Go to the market, take the car for repair. So many things are there. I need not list them. In the midst of all that, the mind and intelligence should not be only engaged in those thoughts. How will I perform these duties? Mind and intelligence should also feel that I am liking spirituality. I like to listen to spiritual lectures. I like to listen to spiritual texts and sacred texts. I like to chant. I like to learn. But then, where will it take me? Am I engaging my mind and intelligence more and more here? In the midst of work also, there are many times when we are free. Am I thinking am I dwelling on unnecessary thoughts? Or am I thinking of God or the self or the blissfulness or the sublimity when we think about God or the self? This should be one seeker's attitude. In religion, the emphasis is on external God. In religion, we are focused on God. Various forms of deities. God is one, but we give God various forms and worship. And as we discussed the other day, when we worship, it helps only the worshipper. God doesn't talk. God doesn't say whether He is pleased or not. Whatever you have offered, whether God liked it or not, did not like it, God will not tell us. Whatever you pray and you have doubts and questions in your mind, you may pray, but God will not give you a reply. But we worship, we go to temples, we have our own puja shrines at home, and we have regular devotional practices. But in spirituality, the whole focus must shift from outside to inside. So as long as we were worshipping in a temple or in the puja shrines, it is still we are worshipping something outside us. And from religion, when we step into spirituality, then the whole focus should go into our own inside. It should shift from outside to inside, within us. You have to purify and integrate your body, mind, and intelligence to realize that everything is God or Brahman. So what does it mean? We go to the temples, we look at the deity, it is an idol. We find divinity only in the idol. Even if it's a very big temple and we go to worship, unless we stand in front of the idol and offer our prostrations, we are not satisfied that we have worshipped. We will not be satisfied just to enter the premises or go to the back door where we don't even see the idol. We have to stand in front of the idol because looking at the idol, we feel it is divine. That is what devotion is. And what is spirituality? it tells us God and Brahman is everywhere. It will tell us, see, the rock from where this idol has been chiseled and made by a sculptor, then consecrated into this temple, that rock also is divine. It is we who think like this, that only the idol is divine. But when you go beyond religion and enter spirituality, then not only some places of worship are divine, not only some moments of worship are divine, everything else becomes divine. Everything is smeared with the same divinity or the same God or the same self. Then one starts feeling, that is, when we go to that temple, we look at the rock which now is in the form of a figure of chosen deity, and we feel it is divine. Our eyes are seeing the idol. And who is feeling that it is divine? The mind is feeling it is divine. The same eyes, when it goes to the rock from where a part was taken to make the idol, the mind should also feel that this is also divine. That is the going to a higher stage of spirituality. Everywhere is Brahman. Everywhere is God. You know, just like those who have eyes, when they look around, they see different forms, so many forms, various forms. Similarly, those who have understood and realized Brahman, they see Brahman or God everywhere. So, you have to purify and integrate your body, mind and intelligence to realize that everything is God or Brahman. The fulfillment of your pursuit lies in that realization, in perceiving the one presence and reality in the apparently plural world. The world is plural, and what our scriptures are saying, what our gurus are saying, that in this plural world, the one substratum is the same divinity, the same Brahman or the same self or God, in whichever name you call it. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavan iti Shabdyate. You may call it Brahman, you may call it Paramatma, you may call it Bhagavan. It is the same presence, same power from which is created this whole universe, including my body, which is inside this universe. So, with mind, intelligence and body, we have to integrate it and realize that everything is God or Brahman, and the fulfillment of the pursuit lies in that realization. Till we realize it, what will happen? Fulfillment will not come. Till we find that oneness underneath all the plurality, till we find that divinity everywhere, we will be constantly having likes and dislikes and many other sufferings of the mind. Mind will not be contented. Mind will not be fulfilled. So to have fulfillment, we must have that realization. All the austerities undertaken have this as the primary goal. Now, this realization of self-realization or realization of the same presence everywhere, that is our goal. That is the goal of spirituality. Self-realization it is called. Realization of the supreme reality it is called, or the spiritual truth. Anyway, in whichever manner you call it, the tattva. What is the supreme truth? That there is only one presence, one consciousness everywhere. Self and self everywhere. So that is the aim. Now that is the aim. We don't know about it. We are just hearing. But to reach that, what do we have to do? To reach that, we have to constantly take to certain disciplines so that everything becomes a step towards the aim. That is, we are hearing that in this vast universe, underneath all the plurality, there is only one presence, the Supreme Presence. We are hearing it. Maybe after hearing, it becomes quite fixed in our mind. But we have to act accordingly. When we act with this oneness in the mind, then there will be no fear. Because if everything is same, who will be fearing whom? Who will dislike whom? And when we feel that vastness, there will not be any likes or dislikes. The mind will be filled with Ananda and Ananda alone. A self-generated spring of Ananda is there within us. We will be able to understand it and realize it and be stable in it. That is the aim. Now, when we reach that destination, our scriptures say that we will be so much fixed and stable that even if huge adversities we face adversities in this world, there will be waves of adversities. Happiness is there and unhappiness is there. Some happiness or unhappiness will come in small waves, some will come in big waves. But when anything comes as wave, what happens? We get affected. It says that if you reach that state, the eternal state, then any adversity will not affect you at all. So that is the aim. To reach that aim, we have to take to the disciplines. So all the austerities, that is why people take to austerities, people keep on listening, keep on reading, keep on introspecting. In our Vedanta, it is said that you must increase your viveka, your vairagya, tanchamadamadi shatka sampatti, you must have mumuksha. And in Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures, so many qualities are written which you must cultivate to become pure inside, so that the mind becomes calm, peaceful, and you are able to understand and realize the self. So Swamiji is saying all the austerities undertaken have this as the primary goal. That is why we give so much of importance to disciplines. The disciplines to be undergone by the body, mind and intelligence. The disciplines, so the body, mind and intelligence all have to take over some discipline. Now I think when people hear about disciplines, they get frightened. And that is why the yearning may be there. One cannot become wholesome. But what are these disciplines? All these disciplines are meant to calm the mind. I think calmness of mind, peacefulness of mind, happiness of the mind, all want. But many fail to understand that unless we have some discipline in the life, we will not be able to have this calmness or peacefulness. Not only that, you will not be able to bring your children also well. If you feel that your children should have good qualities, you must have those qualities and be an example so that they can emulate. Our personality is to be, Swamiji is saying, our personality is to be disciplined in two respects. Be very careful in listening. Our personality, actually, we are using the word discipline. It is not at all difficult. It is talking about things which keep on happening to us every day. How do we look at that? How do we purify those? That is only being discussed. And Swamiji has discussed it so well. Just see, our personality is to be disciplined in two respects, in receiving as well as in expressing, in taking in as well as in giving out. Whatever you see with the eyes, hear with the ears, whatever you touch, smell, taste, eat or drink is all a process of reception. Whatever you see with your eyes, hear with the ears, whatever you touch, smell, taste, eat or drink is all a process of reception. You are taking in. In all this, one has to become sublime and disciplined. That is why we ask you to wear sattvic dress, eat sattvic food, hear good words. That is, don't through all these sensory organs take in such things which will calm your mind and not agitate your mind. That is called sattvic. Sattva guna should increase. So, see whatever will please you. Pleasing, it will be soothing to see. Not things you see which makes you very excited, agitated. Similarly, hear such things which will soothen you. Whatever you touch, smell, taste, eat or drink is all a process of reception, and that is why we ask you to wear sattvic dress. Even the dresses should be of sattvic color, which pleases, which is very calm, soothing, soft. Those colors. And sattvic dress, eat sattvic food, hear good words. The discipline is to be attentive and selective about whatever inputs are received by your system from the external world. So from the external world, you should be very, very selective, attentive and selective what you are receiving. So if you are a spiritual seeker, now you have to see all the friends you have, all the associations you have, people with whom you are mixing, you will have to filter them. You have to be attentive and selective and filter them, not hurting anybody. But you should not receive such things, such inputs, which make you light, gossipy, fault-finding, blameful, critical, and all that. That is, the mind should never be agitated or disturbed or narrow-minded by any association. Mind should become more expansive, more lofty, more sublime, more pure. So, a spiritual seeker has to see how the environment or the atmosphere in which he or she is, with what friends one moves about. All these things one has to be very attentive and selective. Similarly, in the matter of expressing yourself through words, thoughts, acts and interactions too, you have to become progressively more and more disciplined, sublime and spiritual. Very, very important. It's not only what you take in. It's not only what you take in. Sometimes you may say, say while I'm reading, maybe some of you may be thinking, suppose the atmosphere of the house is not all right. People who are in the household, they sometimes come to us and say, I'm interested in spirituality, but the house members are not. So I don't get a proper atmosphere to sit and read something or listen to something or chant something or even sit in meditation. For some, it may be people of the house. Some maybe they are having such active life to earn, to look after the family, they don't have time enough. Now, what does it say? It says that be attentive and selective. Be attentive. Suppose your situation is such that the house people are not very supportive and you are not getting enough time or solitude or even a calm atmosphere to spend some time yourself in spiritual pursuit. What ultimately we need? Calmness of the mind. If you go through Bhagavad Gita, it says, any situation, whether it is something favorable or unfavorable, a seeker must be able to remain connected with the self. It will always not happen that you will have favorable situations. The main thing is that whether you are giving the supreme place to the supreme. In the beginning of this chapter, what Swamiji has said, that he finds that almost all seekers, they lack the awareness of being a seeker. So even if the situation is not favorable, one should not lose the feeling that I am a seeker first, and should not lose the feeling that I am the self. So when that is there, all selection, all filtering, everything will be done. Nobody can take away our mind which is united with the self. Our mind which is getting the best of joy remaining seated in the self. I always feel people say we are very, very, very busy, very, very busy, we don't have time. But there are times when we are free actually. When we take bath, when we dress up, when we have gone for a walk, we are free, our minds are free. But we engage those times in receiving wrong inputs. We'll think, even if we do not have people to talk to, mentally we will be either grumbling or thinking of something which has given you sorrow, or thinking of something which has given you anger, and dwelling in those events. This is what is saying, that whatever you receive, be attentive and selective, and if you do so, you will find you will get progressively, you will become more and more disciplined, sublime and spiritual. My dear children, it's only I'm reading and trying to explain something. Lot of introspection has to be done. Each and every sentence, I feel it's a jewel. Each word is a jewel for any spiritual seeker. And while reading, it is not that somebody else's story Swamiji is saying. He's talking about each and every seeker who is seeking. So the seeker must be introspective, assessing oneself. Am I like this? Am I like this? Am I doing like this? Or I am doing something opposite at times. Unless this evaluation is there, a seeker will not be able to progress. And this evaluation should be very, very enjoyable. We'll find that Some days we'll find that yes, I have been very successful in being attentive, being selective, and got lot of sublimity in my behavior, in my activities. Very next day you will find that we have failed. We could not. Then you start introspecting. What went wrong? What did I think? Oh, I was thinking something else. I could have avoided this. So it's a journey inside our own mind, a spiritual journey. You know, people go spending money to various places of beautiful sights, various places of pilgrimage. This is the best of pilgrimage inside yourself, Tirtha Yatra. Long back when I was in the household, once we went to Amarnath, I wrote a letter to Poojya Swamiji. The Swamiji, we are taking this pilgrimage. Swamiji said, I am very happy, but the best pilgrimage is the pilgrimage towards your own soul, the self. In our, the next para, in our after dinner satsang, Ma often reads out anecdotes and illustrations from the biographies of saints. I think reading or listening to these revelations has great influence on your sadhana. In the biographical accounts, you will find spirituality personified. Through these revelations, the truths presented in the scriptural texts acquire real life significance, and many of the intricacies of sadhana become graspable in the light of saintly behavior. The scriptures do not tell us about how the seekers who read those texts went on pursuing the message in their lives. The scriptures, our Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, other sacred texts, they tell us about the truth. But they don't tell how a seeker of truth who had tread this path and has become a realized person, how he went about in the sadhana, what all difficulties he had, what all introspections he did, how he went beyond likes and dislikes. These things are not told in the Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita and all that. When we read the biographies of spiritual masters, realized souls, where their sadhana has been written down, then we get lot of insight from there. And first thing that we find is that the wholesome, one-pointed yearning that they had, the perseverance to follow these instructions which our Upanishads give, Bhagavad Gita gives. And also we come to know what all difficulties they faced, what all introspections they did, what all help, divine help they got. All these things become very clear to us. But my dear children, one should not seek any kind of mysticism. One should read the real life stories where mysticism has not been touched. We used to mostly read lives of Swami Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Dev, and Swami Vivekananda's Guru brothers, the Guru Bhais, other sannyasins. And I think for 1 year, every night, very frequently the night satsang would be, Swamiji would ask me to read out from the life stories of these sannyasins who were Swami Vivekananda's Guru brothers. And Swamiji also would very intently listen to them. It was very, very helpful. Taking food is an essential and common activity for all. To discipline this intake, we first of all select the materials and the way of cooking in order to have a sattvic influence on our body and mind. Moreover, to sublimate and divinize this intake, we chant the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita and some other mantras before taking food. By this discipline, we tune our mind and body to receive only that which will be conducive to our spiritual growth. So this is Swamiji, after telling all this, he's talking about the simple taking food. Everybody has to take food. We have to get the items for cooking and we have to cook and then taking food. He has taken this example. How you can divinize that? You can divinize that very well. Say, when we buy vegetables, how we buy, how we select, and how we clean them, the place in the kitchen, whether it is clean or not, how we cut them, cutting and chopping in the same size we cut, not one is a bigger one is cut in a big chunk, another is cut in a very small manner. All the vegetables, their part should be equal in size. And clean them well. Also, while cooking, I would say that from the time we buy something, say we are buying vegetables, even the bag in which we bring them, they should be clean. When we take out the vegetables, we should keep them in a very nice manner, as if I had discussed with you the Prabhata Rashmih, Pushpa Samarpanam. Even the vegetables, when we bring and wash them and spread them, before maybe stacking them away, either in the fridge or somewhere else, they should be spread very, very nicely and with lot of feeling. We want to have divinity. Immediately the thought should come, who has created this? These vegetables also is a part of this universe and is created by the same creator who has created me. This is how we become expanded in the mind. Our mind should not only be thinking of our profession, our money, our luxury, our comfort, saving, and only our family. Look at everything and feel divine. So then you are cutting the vegetables in similar parts. Then you cook also with a very divine feeling. Cook always thinking that you are cooking for the Lord. Mentally, you offer it to Him. And then when we take it, we chant mantras, understanding the meaning of the mantras. Not that hurriedly we chant a mantra and thinking when will the mantra be over and I will start eating. Not that. For each and everything, be very attentive. Be very selective. I have told you this, I think many of you have heard one incident which happened with me. Here I think it is very, very connected. So I will tell you that also. Long back when I was in the household, we were in Kharagpur IIT. And there we heard that a sannyasi who generally stays in Uttarkashi and Rishikesh, he comes down every winter in one of his disciples' house. And while he is there for the winter months, he takes classes. So we were interested, we went for his darshan when we heard he has come. And he said that He spoke for a long time. Our yearning was quite much. And maybe he understood. He said that I'm taking some classes on Upanishads. If you are interested, you can come and join the class. But I am very strict. If you have to attend the class, you have to attend every day. It's not that one day you attend and 1 week you do not come, again you come. You have to be an attentive and regular student. So we were looking for such an opportunity. I wrote to Swamiji that such an opportunity has come. Swamiji said, yes, go and learn the Upanishads. So this Maharaj, he was not having good health. So after winter, every year he used to go back. But this time his disciples requested him to stay back and allow them to serve him so that his health becomes all right. So he stayed back. But he has been a very staunch sannyasin. So he used to, in his talks, he would say that sannyasins should go begging. They should eat the pure food obtained by begging. They should not look for the taste. As Shankaracharya has told in Upadesha Panchakam, this bhikshana, it should not be for taste. Food should be taken as if you are taking medicine. Just like the body, when it becomes disease, we need medicine. For the growth of the body, we need to have food. That should not be. We should not have preferences for food. Whatever food is nutritious and will look after our body, we should be satisfied with that. So he used to say all that, and he used to also say that a sannyasin should not take bhiksha from one house. He used to say those are the customs in those places, Rishikesh, Uttarkashi and all that. And actually we heard a lot about those places. I'm talking about the years 80s. So many years back, I don't know how it is now. But during that time, so he said that sannyasin should go from one house to another, being very careful to see that the smoke from the chimney is not coming out. See, those days there were mostly wooden ovens, not gas, etc. like now. So that means when the lady of the house has stopped cooking, and also when everybody has taken food, then only he should go and ask for some bhiksha. He should not trouble the householder. That is the meaning. So he used to say that he was staying in one of his disciples' house, and they were only every day making food and offering him. They were feeling very blessed actually. But Maharaj used to say, we used to call him Maharaj. Maharaj used to say, I should not be taking from one house every day. I am giving them burden. It is not right for a sannyasi to take food from one house. So when he used to say that, I used to feel that maybe he's hinting some of us, other ladies who are there, should offer to bring food for him. But I was young at that time and had no experience to cook for a sannyasin. So I was very nervous. But one day it felt that at least ask him. So I asked him that you are telling this very often. If you feel that I am eligible, then I can bring bhiksha for you. He said, yes, you can bring. So he fixed one particular day. So we bought a new bag which was orange in color. It struck us, when you are pursuing this path, wholesomely, one-pointedly, feeling that you want to pursue this path, so many pure thoughts God will give you. Nobody taught us, but we bought an orange bag for him. We'll go to the market to buy vegetables for him, choose the best of vegetables, never keeping the bag on the ground, always holding it like this. We were never buying vegetables together and take out some for him. Always the vegetables were bought only for him. That is, mentally feeling that it is to be offered to him. Then the day came, so I took bath. I was chanting my mantra. I cut and chopped the vegetables and started cooking. It was very simple food. And then we had bought new kadhai, that is pan to cook, new vessels to take to him. We could not think that we will use the vessels which we have used. And these thoughts, where from it came, I don't know. But that purity was engulfing in the whole process. Then went and offered him the food. He partook of everything and looked at me and said, "Very pure food." I was relieved because I had heard that he was very, very, very strict and austere. And if he felt that there were impure thoughts while cooking, he could feel it and he would not touch the food even. So that fear was there in me that suppose he feels that I had impure thoughts or I did not cook it properly or purely. So I was relieved when he said it, very pure food. The next week again, that day came, again the whole process was there. I was quite tense, again thinking that what will he say, will it be pure? Like this, 2-3 weeks passed. And he every day said that food is very good, very pure. But I started feeling that, oh, this such a blessed opportunity I have got to cook for a sannyasin and offering him. This should fill me with so much of blessedness. It is there. But along with that, there is a lot of anxiety in my mind that will it be pure? Will it be pure? Will it be all right? So the tension and the anxiety used to grip me a lot. Then, I think on the 3rd or 4th week, when I was cooking, suddenly there was a revelation in me. I felt only on one day of the week, I am trying to cook with a pure mind, with all my attention, chanting my mantra, making it very divine. That is why I am having this much anxiety. Suppose every day I cook with this kind of an attitude, it will become a part of me, a habit with me, a system with me. I will not have to struggle to become divine while cooking. And that gave me so much of relaxation. I understood that this is what we should do. This is a cooking. Every day we should cook thinking that I am cooking for the Supreme Lord who has given all these food items for me to cook, has given me the ability to cook, has given me all the paraphernalia which is needed for cooking. It is He who is getting it done through me. I am not cooking for my family or getting any praise. When somebody takes the food and says it is very good, and I feel very elated, not for that at all. It is all the Supreme who has manifested everywhere in everything, and always we should remember that we are doing things for His pleasure. From that day, my cooking changed. My attitude towards whole cooking process, everything changed. And then it was not only cooking. every work. I tried to bring it down to every work. It came automatically because I was given to introspection. Then I thought that why only cooking? Even folding clothes, folding a bedsheet, folding a handkerchief, keeping the books properly. Everything is to be filled with divinity, thinking it is His work that I am doing. Okay? We'll again do it. This is not over, this chapter. So, this whole thing, my dear children, this whole of spirituality is to feel the divinity, the presence of God everywhere around us, inside, outside, everywhere, in all thought, all speech, all activity, and all interactions. There is nothing but He, nothing but the Supreme Lord. That is what we have to achieve. It is very simple actually, but our minds are habituated to go here and there in other things, not understanding that all those other things are also divine. Sampurnam Jagadev Nandanavanam Sarvepi Kalpadrumaha Gangam Vari Samasta Vari Nivaha Punya Samasta Kriya Vacha Prakrita Samskrita Shruti Shiro Varanasi Medini Sarvavasthitirasya Vastu Vishaya Drishti Parabrahmani Sarvavasthitirasya Vastu Vishaya Drishti Parabrahmani. Jai Guru, Jai Guru.